Hi, friend. Today we're going to be talking with you about several things you need to consider before booking a party space that will make sure your guests feel comfortable.
I'm Julia. I'm the mama and a grandmother.
And I'm Jocelyn, her oldest daughter, and also a mommy.
We've got a list of approximately 10 things that would be your top priority things to look for if you feel the need to rent a party space or to borrow a party space or however it is you're going to get that. And one of the first things is considering capacity. Is there enough room for your guests to sit, to move, or to, have fun? So I've noticed, I have been to an event before where the room was so tiny. You couldn't hardly find things, like the bathroom or the exit. It was just little bitty. It was a little tiny office space type of room. And then I've also been in an event where the room was so huge.
And there was just a little amount of people.
And there was just a few people. And it made it kind of
awkward.
Dampened it a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's important to have what would you say, a ratio, space to size. And those are some things to consider. Is this space too big? Is it too little? Is it just right? Just like Mama, Papa, Mama Bear, Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear.
Is it just
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's number one.
Another thing to consider is the cost.
Oh, big one. Big.
You always have to have the budget talk, even if it's with yourself, before you start planning your party, so you know, is this space in my budget?
I almost am of the opinion that right after you get let's have a party, is you need to come down to earth for at least 5 minutes or maybe 10.
What money do I have for this party?
Talk about the cost. And you may not know what the cost is of this space, but you could have a rough idea of what you could allot toward it.
Yeah, there was a baby shower I was helping with in recent years, and I knew we had a certain budget for a space, and I had to end up calling about 5 different spaces before I found one that fit both the budget and our other requirements. So it's important to do your research in advance before you just fall in love with the space and then it's like, oh wow, that costs 3 times what my budget is.
Well, and sometimes this really varies from parts of the country or from a big city to a smaller city. Not only how many are available, but it's the cost of what, it's really, you got to really know that this is going to be a good fit in several different ways. And then there's the safety and the security of the space, especially if any children are going to attend at all.
Yes.
You don't want the bathrooms down the hall and over here where there could be
other, like the general public walking by or things like that.
It could be very difficult, or if the bathroom's on another level and people have to go up and down stairs, and you don't want grandma or anybody else falling down the stairs. It really puts a damper on your event. So the safety and the security, it's kind of challenging to do, like if you had a party room at a public space where there's going to be several other groups of people. You just don't know these other people and you want to be wise.
Right, and if you know a lot of parents that are going to be in attendance at a kid's party and you kind of be like, okay, ask your friends in advance, maybe they'll help keep eyes on this area, help keep eyes on the kids, so that it can be a safe environment in a public space if that's where you're having a party.
Right, because we sure don't want somebody to get hurt or something to happen that would put a damper on the occasion.
Right. Another factor is cleanliness, though. So is the facility well maintained? It's not like dilapidated or anything, but also is it clean?
Well, if that facility also is providing the food as a part of the package deal, please, before you sign up for it or pay a deposit, visit the bathroom, because the way they keep the bathroom, yes, even in the middle of a Saturday afternoon, how they keep the bathroom is how they keep their kitchen, and that's how clean this place is. So that may be a factor.
Right.
Now, I will say, there's been at least 2 occasions in recent years where you and I did book a place, and in general, if you took your eyes and went like this, you would say this place is clean. But as we walked around, we like to do this. One of us will be asking the manager of the space questions while the other one walks around.
Scopes it out.
I don't put my white glove on, but yeah, okay. I notice things like, is there dust everywhere, or is the trash not emptied, or are the windows dirty, or things like that.
And one of those facilities in particular, it was pretty clean when we viewed it with the manager, but then when we got there for the day of the party, like 2 hours in advance, I think, there were crumbs everywhere. They must have had another event, and the staff had not cleaned it up. So we had to be like, hello, come clean this.
And then one that we did very recently, we noticed that it was, I went in the bathrooms while you were talking to the manager, and I scoped it out. Yes, I took a piece of toilet paper, I lifted lids, I checked paper goods and things like that, and I noticed some things that weren't 100% clean. And although a staff member had come through and cleaned, so we just made plans. I've just decided that from now on, I'm going to allow at least 1 hour sometime before the party, before focusing on decoration, hanging and so forth, is to go in with some basic cleaners and make sure that the toilet seats are clean, and that the bowls are clean, and that if there's a kitchen space, that the kitchen area counters, I wipe them all down to make sure they're clean when we use them, and then we go back and we make sure things are clean when we leave, even though we may not always be required to, but some places do require cleaning before you leave.
And that's something to definitely consider doing if you're renting what we would consider like a blank or empty space. Now, it will be different if you're going to rent a party room at a laser tag, mini golf,
I would
restaurant.
not clean that facility,
but still check it out and make sure it's
I would
clean.
check the party room we're supposed to use, and I would probably be cleaning the table and make sure the chairs don't have
extra wipe.
Old cheese or old frosting or something stuck to the chairs.
That's true. And the last thing we're going to mention today is the restroom facilities, which we did kind of touch on, making sure they're clean, but also make sure there's adequate restrooms for your number of guests you're going to be having at the party. You don't want to have one stall for like 200 guests. Like, that would be a nightmare. So you need to make sure you've got adequate number of restrooms for the number of party guests.
That's right. Now, I know there are rules that event planners use for one stall per X amount of people, but there have been occasions when there might have been one restroom for people to use, even if it's in somebody's home, the one that they designated for the guests to use, and then somebody clogs the facility or something happens and nobody can use it. Well, guess what? The party's over because people are going to leave. So there has to be at least additional facilities,
a backup plan,
so that if something were to happen here, this can be used too. So,
and is there a staff member? You need to know if there's going to be a staff member available to you that you can be like,
accessible.
Yes, accessible, available, actually there to be like, hey, just got clogged. Can you come clean it for us?
Now, we recently at an event, we checked the paper towel machine and it looked full. Hey, good, we've got the paper goods, because I don't like to go with nothing for people to dry their hands on. But we did not. I don't know why we didn't think about it.
And during the party, it was stuck.
Try it, and nothing was coming out. So I had to go get a roll of paper towels that we had brought and stick it in the bathroom for people to use, and then call the maintenance. Well, they report and they get the maintenance. Oh, he'll be there.
He showed up at the end of the party after everybody had already left,
so
and we were about to leave.
No one could use the machine the whole time.
Yeah.
So you just have to kind of think ahead if you're going to rent or use someone else's space.
Yeah, that's for sure. You want your guests feeling comfortable so they stay for the full length of the party and enjoy themselves.
Now, I don't know that everything we just talked about was like fun. But I do know that it's important for you to have fun at your party. So we're going to go over about
5-ish.
this many in our next
Video.
and it will be a little more fun
Yes.
to hear those. But then we've got some really good stuff coming up that you're going to enjoy that couples with this.
Yes.
Make your parties even more fun.
Yes. So subscribe and follow for more hospitality from the heart.